So, folks, at just 16 years old, our next guest dropped out of high school, barely reading at a proficient level, I'm told, but somehow found the courage to preserve and rewrite his story about illiteracy. Joining us this morning is content and video producer Tyrone Simms. Well, go on, Tyrone. Good to see you.
Good morning.
All is well?
Great, man. Great.
Why you wanted to share this story?
You know, this year was a first sad year for me. 2 months now since my mother dropped out.
I'm sorry.
It was like I was there through WhatsApp and sharing some stuff. And I think I shared something that I was developing through ChatGPT, some story, something about myself. And a friend of mine, she worked at Cleaner. I previously knew her because I was doing some stuff at Observer, I think. Yeah, and she called me and said, yo, you would want to share the story? And I said, yeah, man, no problem, man, because I've been sharing it a long time now, but it's been good. It's really good to reshare it because I think that there's a lot of persons going through struggles, whichever self-esteem, try to express themselves, not really catching on to school and stuff like that.
So, take me back to when you were 16 years old.
It was 2002. Right, I just moved from Spanish Town to Kingston in 2001. At that time, I was going at Inzud. Inzud was such a struggle. A lot of distractions, I might say, on the bullies side. Those times you see a headline when somebody stab up somebody or some, stuff like that was going on through in my head also. But I guess growing up in a Christian background, I have some conviction there into basically rethink and stuff like that. Although I was never my self-esteem was not high and literacy was not high on the agenda of pursuing. But, it was the summer of 2022 I stopped because there was also a situation in Spanish Town back then, a big war breakout. So that was those are two of the procedures that I stopped when there was a sum of that year.
But we had a story recently, and I'll ask you the same question. How come you got that far in high school and you couldn't read well? What did go on in our primary and stuff like that?
Primary, the school that I went before junior high, Inzudai was Horizon Park Junior High, and it was a feeding school somewhat, because the school just got developed and stuff like that. So I guess I performed somewhat good. So I guess that's how I went to Inzud. I went there in 10th grade.
Mm. When did you realize that you may have been a little bit behind the rest of your peers and stuff? When did you realize that?
I knew, but for some
from day one?
Yeah, but for some reason I was very, what do you call it now? Laid back with it, because I use all the other stuff them to distract, to go into game shop, stop from school, go to, walking up and down in Spanish Town and stuff like that over the years and just got distracted by not the warish type of vibe, but, somebody that does chill, hang out spots and stuff like that.
Did your family or anyone have adults around you, like who had this leadership roles, did they realize that you were not where you were supposed to be?
I'm not sure, but for sure I know that my mother was aware of it because she used to find me at game shops.
Wow. And
she could, she'd upon Monk Street and you could hear her voice. I called my name.
How you did feel when you hear that?
Threatened.
So she knew that you were...
Yeah, she knew that she knew that I was somewhat of that person, stopped going to school.
How did you feel at that time? Did you feel like, this is what I want to do? Did you feel sad that you weren't as good as the rest of the people? Did it matter to you at all? How did you feel?
I think it was a rebellious thing because my mother always do the comparison. Why you can't be like that person, why you can't be like, so I was have a lot of resentments, I would say.
So you didn't want to be the bright kid?
No. I want to be the person that go Mango Bush, go Cane Field and stuff like that, go Connell.
But where did that come from? Did you see other people doing that?
Yeah. Growing up in Spanish Town was a great childhood, I would say.
Great?
Yeah, because I get to experience stuff before the war in fraction. And even if there was war, I wouldn't even know as a, it
Yeah.
wasn't that bearing on me
Yeah.
to say, destruction of, in some part of Kingston, there's people want to hang up and power with certain.
When did you decide, say, brother, say me have to smarten up and try to change some things?
It was 2003, I'm still hang out and have some few friends, and one of the friends them say, yo, man, I can't stay, so, try find something. Say, find a church or something. And I did find a church. It was East Queen Street, East Street Baptist
When you say
Church.
you find the church, I understand what you say, but so walk by now and decide, say, I want to go in another church, eh?
It was basically, they had a night, I think they had some outreach. However, I went there and I went up to the altar and stuff like that. And, some of the elders, them gather around and they ask them what go on and try to get into conversation and stuff like that. And immediately one of the stuff to me, I tell her, I want to work. Because that was one of the stuff that I was discussing on the corner with my friend, and I said, yo, you have to try to do something. This whole part begging and, certain little situation not really fitting as a man.
Work.
Yeah, so you have to man up.
How is this Tyrone different from that Tyrone?
More self-aware, more of a problem solver, more assertive, want to achieve. I made my mother proud in the last half because she acknowledged it and stuff like that. So I think I'm on a good path. Right now is my side hustle is my business, but I have a permanent work at Jamaica Stock Exchange where I still do video production there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man.
And your reading skills have improved also?
Much better. And so Jamal was one of those. Well, basically when I went there, they rechanged the name to Lifelong Learning and stuff like that also.
Look in that camera and tell the youngsters what they're supposed to do in life, knowing where you are coming from.
All right, first thing first, just try to know yourself. Try to go to a church, tell the truth. You need to learn some life skills. Learn some life skills that you can be more, I would say, resourceful, I would say.
Yeah.
Because in this day and life now, it's not what you know, it's how you can get things done.
Yeah. And right now you said you have your Tyrone
Simms production.
See?
Yeah, man.
You deal with the thing.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy that you came. I'm very impressed. Very sorry about your mom.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed that you wanted to share this, and hopefully it will help.
Because growing up, I never have much persons to look up to, or I never have. It was late in life. I got a couple of mentors and stuff like that. Certain people like my granduncle start me with their first camera, and then the courses of Kingston get me my first laptop at 26.
But now you are where you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
All the time. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for coming and sharing that.
Definitely.
Content and video producer Tyrone Simms. Good story. All right, folks, coming up next, an interesting story. We discuss porn addiction and how it affects families. And maybe moms and dads at home, you might want to be careful with the youngsters in front of the television in our next interview. So stay with us. Soon come.